Coexistence. The term, depersonalization, refers to a condition in which the perceptions about your own body, and even your own emotions, are felt with a deep sense of detachment. This condition often occurs when the conflict between some views in someone's mind grows stronger, giving rise to an intense meta-perception. Self-awareness or consciousness is the meta-perceptive state in which subjectivity detected as being, unification of voices, judges itself as being opposed to them. Depersonalization is therefore not antithetical to self-awareness, but rather the inevitable outcome of its intensification. The work, Coexistence, aims to promote a temporary condition of depersonalization in its users. A person with a white mask on their lips observes their face reflected in a mirror, and a video of a mouth reciting a passage from the novel by Pirandello. 1 No 1 and 100,000 is projected onto the mask. This combination of a person's own body parts and external ones creates the perception of an ambiguous face, which, at the same time, is considered to be their own and foreign. Hypertrophilizer for mirror neurons. Mirror neurons are neurons found in the premotor cortex of the brain. These neurons are activated both when we observe movements being made by others as well as when we make them ourselves. They provide us with first-hand knowledge of what another person feels. The hypertrophilizer for mirror neurons increases identification with others and aims for changes observed to be perceived as your own. A person sits with their legs under a glass table with a black cloth on it. The cloth is lifted toward a Vila screen placed horizontally below the glass table. The monitor plays a video clip in which there are two men's legs in the same position as the participants. They have been filmed from the same angle so that the viewer sees them in place of their own. While in the clip two hands appear and start massaging the virtual legs, the viewer actually receives a similar massage. After a few minutes later, a video of female legs replaces the male yonis in the clip. In 2009, some of my photographs, with both unpleasant and pleasant elements, were used in an experiment on emotional confusion. This research took place in the Laboratory of Clinical and Behavioral Neurology, the Santa Lucia Foundation, in Rome. In the experiment, the subjects were shown in my pictures, and they had to judge the positivity and negativity. These judgments were then compared with others, relating to the same images and given by the same individuals, after receiving repetitive transcranial magnetic stimulation on the supplementary motor area of the cerebral cortex, an area that seemed responsible for the control of emotions. The scientific goal of the experiment was to confirm the function of this neural area. However, from the point of view of Neuropsychoart, the goal was to let the participants experience for a few minutes a condition that is common in many psychoses. Soon, every human nervous system will be able to generate their own neuropsychoartistic experiences using a software capable of interpreting information coming from functional MRI of the brain, and so recognize every intention by detecting the specific neural activity related to it, then translate it immediately into commands for an apparatus for transcranial magnetic stimulation. The self-determination which Neuropsychic hopes for therefore derives from a nervous system which determines second after second every single change we make, thanks to the advanced instruments that neuroscientific research has produced and will produce in the future. Just as a geometric point with its non-dimensionality limits what surrounds it, so the subjective aspect of the psyche with its non-existence makes conceivable and brings together the multiplicity of the mind. This diversity is made up of all the basic sensations, whose conflicts along with their outcomes we can define as motivation or will. The human mind, which is self-determining, can therefore not be thought of as the home of a little man who decides, but rather as an expression of the inseparable bond between static and dynamic. One of the outcomes generated by a self-regulating nervous system might also be to entrust the production of inputs to the brain to a software that generates them in an unpredictable and random way. When Neuropsychoart has crossed these boundaries, will knowing yourself mean having lived and being able to recall every possible state of mind? Or to have acquired, through countless experiences, a profound conviction that the psychic manifestations cannot be narrowed down to a finite set?